welcome to our interview, and I hope we will have some guys from Entrepreneurs Club to listen today. Guys, this is Angela. She's an amazing woman, and I would love to share with you what actually she's doing. Probably that will be first questions, just to clarify, just to give an idea to everyone. But she will be able to answer your questions. That means if you are on in Facebook group, please comment with any of your questions. It would be great if we can ask and we can have some insights from Angela. And yeah, Angela, I will give you space probably to explain or help us to understand what is this color therapy, because I know that's the major thing you do, and I would love to
Yes.
understand, and probably all our guys here.
Okay. Well, colour therapy. Some people ask me whether I do the colours for clothes, and the short answer is no. Although I could, but that's not where I work. I'm an old yoga teacher, and for many years I've understood about the chakra system and the colours in our energy field. And then about 20 years ago, I did a colour therapy course. This is when I was running a yoga school in Sydney. I had this lovely Aura-Soma Colour Therapy training, which worked really well for me. And that complemented my yoga classes that I was running. And since that, which is over 20 years ago, and that was great in Sydney, it was during the Olympics, but anyway, that's a whole other story. So I have over the years put in place courses for running colour therapy and meditation. And I have always in the past done it face to face and, with people in the same room. But since the 1st of May last year, I have been running colour therapy and meditation courses on Zoom. And
Wow.
I like to run my courses in 8 sessions. And that works with the basic chakra system. And with the 8th um, meeting, then that's the ceremony of release. So we let go everything that we no longer need, and we empower the individuals to go forward with a whole new lease of life.
Yeah.
And that has worked extremely well. And I do suggest to people that they keep a journal of what they're releasing over the 8 weeks of the sessions that we do. It's usually 8 weeks, particularly when I'm running a group.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm working one-on-one, and people book up for the course because they don't want to work in the group, or the time doesn't suit them. So
Yeah.
they will come to me for one-on-ones, and then we book the sessions as if they were going to book their massage, for example. So it's dates to suit each other.
Yeah.
And it's really been working very well indeed.
Awesome.
So
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I've had people coming to me too, if they just want a one-on-one and they don't want a course. I've had people come to me because they're starting a new venture with their business, and they're not sure about what the colours are that they
That
should
was
be
my
working with.
that was my question. Like, what or how we should think about that? Like, we know Angela, but when is the time to go to see you? Like, why, or what questions I have to actually think about, like color therapy or even chakras. I think a lot of people don't know what it is. I don't think everybody
Okay,
knows. That means we can probably start to kind of like explain what chakras are, and when
okay,
people are looking for you. If you can just give some insights to people here.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 7 main chakras that people know about, which are the energy centers in the subtle body. Now, there are more than 7 chakras, but a lot of people don't know about those. And even though I can work with them, the basic main ones I work with, quite a few people understand. Now, for example, the base chakra at the base of the spine is red. And then we work with red. It's about really being earthed. It's about the physical and the material life, family, making money, working, all of those sorts of things. And then another color may be, for example, with the heart energy. So we've got the heart chakra, which will be green, or an emerald green, just what you're wearing.
Yeah.
And that will be to do, can often be to do with the feelings. It's to do with really what your heart wants. Quite often people have had their heart energy suppressed because they grow up in a structured environment that doesn't allow them to just express their emotions. And so there will be some balancing that has to take place, open up to another level of oneself. When you go into meditation, it becomes a little bit easier to release what you don't need now, and to open to the next level of what your heart desires.
Okay, that means when you talk about the colors and chakras or energies, they are connected. Uh,
Yes.
is there anything that when I feel like, for example, I'm working with leaders or in corporates, and I have, job that is really numbers driven and benchmarks driven, and
Yes.
I kind of miss or didn't really fulfill my heart, like what I really want to do for my heart. Is that something that I will try to compensate with colors, like looking more for the color as well, or?
That certainly can be one way of looking at how does one balance that.
Yeah.
Now, for some people, they go into a highly structured system which doesn't suit them, really doesn't suit them. They went to the university course because that's what their parents wanted, but it's not what they actually want to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just part of one's personal growth. So say a person has done training to be an accountant, but that's not actually what they want. They actually want to be a naturopath. And
That's,
so what will happen is then they'll do their training, they'll go and get a job, they might become a very good accountant, but there's something missing. And so they may find that they'll go and do a course on naturopathy, or they'll find some kind of healing modality that suits them. They might do it part-time. It might supplement what they're doing. And then a bit further down the track, they think, oh, this is really what I want to do. So they think, okay, that accountancy training has stood me in very good stead. And they actually use that as a basis for how they run their business. They might go and do a little bit more training about how to run a small business. And of course, there's lots of those courses around.
yeah.
But I think nothing goes to waste. So it really does help to mature that person's thinking, and it really depends on what their soul needs to manifest and what they need to do in this lifetime. So as I always say to people, none of it's wasted, but there is room for personal growth. So you learn to see, what is it that makes me feel really good? That's what I'm going to pursue. That's what I'm going to grow and blossom into the next level of my being in this lifetime.
Yeah, that means from what you're saying, is that when I don't feel fulfilled or I feel like I'm missing something, that
Yeah.
I will look for someone to help me to find myself. Is that something that you do, or like when
That,
is the time to
yes,
look for you?
certainly that can be part of it. What happens is when a person comes for a colour reading, I actually use my Aura-Soma tarot cards, or I may use my set of Aura-Soma bottles, although that's a pretty old system now, but my tarot cards are absolutely spot on. And depending on the colours that they draw, that gives me permission to enter into the psyche in some way of that person. And it allows me to see something of what needs to be addressed. And then it may come up to do with relationships, or the lack of a relationship, or why they're not fulfilled. And depending on the colours that have been drawn, I'll then have a look and see at what level of their relationship that they're feeling unfulfilled. And I'm also a marriage celebrant, and one of the books that I recommend, and I have recommended for years for people to read, is the 5 love languages. And that's a really lovely book, because some people are not feeling that the love is coming back to them because they have a different way of expecting how that person should treat them, and how they expect to be treated in the world.
Yeah,
And so I don't know how familiar
I
people
love
are
the
with
book.
that.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
book, and I think that's funny because we actually have a few people already recommended that. Like, it's always actually
Oh,
we're coming
really?
back to that book, and it's yeah, a lot of people mentioned that, and I think it's because it sounds not just like a love language in relationship, but in general, when you are a leader or business owner, it sounds a
Absolutely.
great idea to learn how to actually understand what
Yes.
actually your clients needs, or how,
Yes.
how to approach them, because some of them will be just happy when you connect with them and tell them how amazing they are and how valuable customers they are. And sometimes because of the love language, they speak
Yes.
with, it's really good to know, like some of them love the flowers or gifts or presents. That means that you
Absolutely.
have to send them presents. Yeah, I love that. I think it's really useful in any
Yes.
area of
Yes.
life. Yeah. But
Yes.
let's go back to the colors, because I'm really curious.
Yeah.
If I'm coming for color reading, for example, because you mentioned that's color reading
Yes.
that you do first.
Yes.
Um, what I can get as a result, is that like something like you said you can access my.
Well, what I do, it gives me permission to tune into you at a deeper
Yeah,
level. And so it may very well be that even though a person comes to ask one particular question, there's likely to be something deeper than that.
yeah,
And
okay,
depending on the colours they have chosen, then I can go deeper into that energy of that chakra. So,
yeah,
for example, if it's yellow, then I'm looking at the solar plexus energy.
hmm.
And then I look into the energy in the solar plexus. And so that could suggest that a person is very good at teaching and learning. They've got very good academic skills, and they might be very frustrated in their job. And it's because they're not using the very sharp mind that they've got, and they're just doing dumb stuff all the time, and they are so bored and so frustrated. So then we have a look at what else could be fulfilling based on the skills they've already got, perhaps, or not. But if sort of, say, well, have you thought of being a teacher in some way instead of just doing what somebody else tells you?
Yeah,
And then there was a woman that I had who came to me totally frustrated with the work that she was doing. And it turned out that what she would really get a lot of personal satisfaction from was updating her skills and really being a teacher for special needs children in some way and helping. And she had thought of that years ago, but it wasn't something that was top of mind. And I said, have you thought? She said, oh, I thought about that years ago, but I didn't get any support and I didn't do that. And then she told me what she'd gone off and done. So it's not that, as I said, it's not that it's wrong, but it's another way. You've built another skill and now it's time to launch into something new. And I think at this time in evolution, and with all the changes that are going on the planet, people really are looking for, what is it that I need to be doing with my life now? I can't work, I've been sacked, or I
yeah.
don't know whether I'm going to go back to work. And there's all these questions. And for me, a very important way of tuning into what you need is actually meditation. So that to me is a very strong skill that one can learn to then empower absolutely every choice you ever make in your life.
Okay, that means you have people, for example, yeah, they're coming for sorting out their issue or problem or something
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they feel like that's like they're on the right path, or something is happening in their life. They need some answers,
yeah.
and you run through the color coding or some kind of therapy, and also you
Mm.
add the meditation. As yeah, that's is that true?
Well, certainly,
Or how?
certainly in the courses,
Yeah,
I really include that as part of the session.
yeah, okay,
And
great.
when people come to me for a one-on-one, just for a one visit, then I may or may not use the meditation. It depends what I need to be working with that person. But see, even on one-on-one, if they're coming and doing the full course, we'll have meditation in that as well. And I like to be able to lead the meditation in such a way that that person becomes open to whatever it is that's from rising up within them, and give that space to be looked at as a possible something for whatever's going to be answering their questions. Even though I might have some answers, I think it's really more powerful if you get the answers coming up from within you. That's a much stronger think, well, oh, yes, and that's my thought. It's not just somebody else imposing something else on me.
And I think that's the right thing to do because we don't really know exactly everything about the client, you know, because that's same with coaching. Like we don't try to put the ideas in someone's life. It's
Yeah.
just observing and maybe brainstorming the ideas. But you're
Yes.
doing probably same, you know, like did you think about this or did you think about those
Yes.
options and opportunities that can come? And some people just can see that, and you can be the person that is guiding them through, you know, more options, more possibilities,
Yeah.
what is amazing.
Yeah.
And I love meditation. I think it's
Yeah.
great tool to find out or discover more about us. And
Yes.
yeah, but I want to actually ask about the colors before we will go deeper into meditation.
Sure. Okay.
When we think about the business, because this group is usually entrepreneurs, business owners,
Yeah.
is there anything that you would suggest before they, for example, create or rebrand their business or company, or if they are creating some new line of the products or services, like
Yeah.
should they really like start to think about the colors, like what color to match, you know, with their brand? Because sometimes like we are working, all of us, you know, in businesses, it's a lot of solopreneurs here as well, like you're working for
Yes.
yourself. That means we
Yes.
kind of need to be aligned with the brand. Is there anything
Yes.
that you will suggest?
Well, it depends. Like I can pull something out of the air. For example, one woman I did a one-off color reading for. She really was wondering what colors to use because she wanted to take a different branch. She'd been working for years with a husband who's a builder, and she'd been helping, and she does all the admin and stuff. And she decided that she would like to open a new branch specifically to do with interior decorating. And and she was quite good at it already because she was sort of already doing it. She just hadn't kind of put a label on it.
Mhm.
And she went to a graphic designer to get a new logo for her new business and things. And the graphic designer gave her a whole choice of colors. And she said she got so confused. She didn't know because she liked a lot of them, and she said she really couldn't decide. And then somebody at that meeting said to her, look, go and recommended that she talk to me about helping her to choose the colours that were going to be right for her new business. So we had a wonderful session, and we worked out what were going to be the right colours for her. She took them to her graphic designer and she was so pleased, and she showed me the end result, and it was just fantastic. So whatever a person's question is, if they bring it to me, then we can definitely work through what is going to represent the individual with her personality and whatever that person's desires are, what they want to create, and also what's going to be the right colour for their industry. So we look at all of that. Yeah, so we bring both the practical and the more idealistic
Awesome.
together.
Yeah,
Mm.
I will probably ask because we don't have here a lot of people on the live. I believe people are still working, but let's say if I, because I was thinking about my brand and rebranding or colors, because it's
Yeah.
still like I'm still looking to being really, you know, really I would say aligned. Like I love the mentoring effect. I love the brand, but
Mm.
I'm probably just that, you know, person that still try new things and trying to
Yeah.
think about different colors. Of course, that will be probably all life for me. But when you think about the brand behind me, like it's basically yellow, the mentoring effect. If I would maybe ask, like, look, I really want to change, or do you think this is
Mm.
the right thing to do for me, or do you think just really try to observe different colors, or try to implement something else?
I would certainly want to see a little bit more action. It's very from because it's on camera and it's right quite far behind you. I can't actually read it because I do my work on my iPhone. Now, if it was on a big computer screen, maybe I could read it, but at the moment I can't. And so and I'd like to see something a bit more interesting, actually. Yellow is a good start, certainly in terms of the intellect and bringing the sunlight and bringing joy. But I'd actually like to see something else as well.
Okay, that means you will be probably saying like, yes, Alex, it's time to rebrand.
Well, what is the brand name?
The mentoring effect.
That is the brand name. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is too is it's really nice because you're going to be working either one on one or one with a few
Oops.
people,
Yeah.
then let's see some faces or some bodies or some friendly interaction.
Mm,
So just a yellow gold coin on a white background, that's boring, I think. And
yeah.
not particularly, I
Yeah.
want to know more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree actually. Yeah, I was like, I'm still thinking about that. Like, I'm not absolutely aligned. And I was thinking because we have here in the group a really great guy. He's doing rebranding and design. And I was thinking like, I will probably need to just really have a look on that and
Yes,
launching new
yes.
programs and everything should be probably slowly maybe changed because better to change at the beginning, like to change, when
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
And when you want something friendly, the kind of like there's more oranges and reds is more dynamic, but the yellow is really good for the bright intellect, and the blues are very good for structure. And then you bring the green because you want the heart element in it. So there's kind of a lot of ways in which you can play and have some colours really strong and other colours not strong but present.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Okay, that's great because I love because I realize that there's a lot of businesses using blue color a lot. Like it's really
Yeah.
when you really see the small medium size of businesses, a lot of blue, a lot of blue.
Well, the thing is you don't want too much blue, not too much heavy blue, because that really is about structure, management and planning.
Yeah,
And it's actually about, and it can very much be, particularly with the heavier blues, to be with an old patriarchal structure that's currently breaking down. So you don't want to get too invested in too much heavy blue, because we still use blue for the police, the Navy, the Air Force, and that can often be, particularly when it comes to punitive stuff, do what I say, not what I do. So you just don't want too much of that.
okay, that means that is probably because I'm thinking there's probably option just to really leave the circle and make it yellow, but make a little bit of blue or maybe red. Just really play a little bit with colors that make it a little bit
Yeah, yeah, yes.
more boring, like you said. No, it's boring. Oh my God. No, that's cool. No, I really like feedback, and I think it's important because like I felt that something like I need to adjust something or upgrade, change, or just
Yes,
add something because I'm missing something in a branding, and we don't have time to talk about it too much, in general. Like we just really
mm,
we just work, we doing a lot of work with clients, but it's kind
yeah,
of like you forget about those things, like they need to be
yes,
changed on the way. And
yeah.
I guess it's good time to think. That means, guys, here, if you actually planning or thinking about rebranding, I think first to talk to Angela. She will give you an idea about the colors, and after that you can call Mark and he will put it
That's it.
together. We have
Very
all
good.
amazing people in this group. That means that will be great.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And I would like to probably go a little bit into meditation because I know from like I will probably ask you what is meditation for you because I love meditation and I think I'm not doing that enough. Like I really, yeah, I can skip a few days, what.
Okay. What I've had a lot over the years is people just say, oh, I can't meditate. And that is such a common thing.
Yes.
And really, your mind is like a muscle that needs training. So if you want to train for anything, you have to practice.
Yes.
And oh, I just go to sleep or my mind is too busy. Yes, that is absolutely true. And that happens for years. That doesn't mean to say that you can't get to a point of quiet and contemplative space where really wonderful things can come up from within you. Now, I'm going to quote a wonderful old Greek called Aristotle. Now, I'm assuming a lot of people will have heard about this ancient mathematician and philosopher. Aristotle designed what is known as a metaphysical triangle for manifesting what you want. So this metaphysical triangle, on the top you've got to be, on the second point you've got to do, and on the third point you've got to have.
I love it.
Most people are very busy running around doing, expect to have. But Aristotle teaches us to be, then you do, and then you have your result. And to be means to go into that very quiet contemplative space, which can be a really soft, allowing ideas to flow, but it can be going deeper than that, where you really are deeply relaxed and really nothing is happening. And then that's when those really gentle ideas can float up. Or it can be just one thought and something comes up and you think, oh, okay. And you might have thought, oh, I didn't even see that coming. Now, I've had that experience a few times in my life, so I know it works. I know it works.
It works. I
Yeah.
agree. I know exactly. And I love what you're saying. I think that's brilliant. I will just go back to that because we do have model I'm using actually in coaching as well, because you're so right. Like we are not being, we just don't start there. Even in business, when you think about it, we are already trying to have and get results and have money and everything. But we're forgetting to be great leader, business owner with proper mindset. That means we really forget to be first in any kind of situation. When you think about that, we are expecting our partners be in love and love us forever. But are we being that partner? Are we being that supportive? When you think about every area of your life, like it's just
Yes.
so great to
Yeah.
remind people that when you think about health, we just want to have this result. We want to have this beautiful ripped body, but we are not being that. We are eating
Yeah.
chips, we are drinking wine or alcohol, and we don't care, but we want to
Yes.
have. And it's just so nice that you said that. That's such a great point, and I love that actually we went there. I didn't even see that happen. It's really good. We have Mariana here and Catherine. That's awesome. We have a few people tuning into. Hey, ladies, please feel free to ask questions about colors or meditation. I know Mariana is big in meditation as well. That probably she will have some questions. But let's think about that. Like, let's talk about more of meditation, because you said that that is a state or there is something that can happen. Because I know when you are in that state of relaxation, like for me, I'm usually tearing down. Like I just have those insights. I have warm on my chest. I feel amazing,
Yeah.
and always some thoughts surprise me. I'm trying to use that the way that thought, like, oh, I should contact that person maybe, or it's just kind
Yes.
of like people coming into my mind, or like people that I didn't think about. Is that
Mm.
something that you will suggest also, like to use meditation and watch that those thoughts they're coming? Because people usually
Absolutely.
stop to think, stop, but it's not true. It's just relax and let thoughts flow or fly around, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. Well, what there's different stages, as I think you probably understand. As you're kind of powering down or relaxing down, some thoughts may start to come up, like, oh, I need to ring so and so. Oh, they weren't well. I wonder how they are. So it's not as though you'll act on it instantly, but it's kind of there. So you think, oh, okay, I will contact that person. And then you let that go and you go down deeper and deeper. Now, I can give you an example of some major change that happened for me a few years ago. And honestly, my big changes have always come as a result of this, something coming from deep, which I didn't see coming.
Yes.
I was living at Lake Macquarie in New South Wales, and I'd been there for maybe close to 10 years. And I loved living there. I had a beautiful place on the lake, and I had friends. I was running a lot of yoga classes. I've done my Celebrant training, and I had weddings booked, and I was doing funerals, all of that. And there came to me a time, it was getting towards a Christmas time, and I'm thinking, it's time for me to move. And that thought was with me for a few months. Now, usually because of my regular meditation, I don't always sit down for a formal meditation. I just think, oh, I need something, and I'll just ruminate a bit, and something may come and something not. But because I have a certain level of practice, it often doesn't take me very long to get an answer. But I was asking, oh, where am I going? And I was not getting an answer for ages. And I remember that it was coming up to the May, And I'm thinking, what is going on? So I thought, I've got to do a formal sit down and say, okay, God, what's going on? What's happening? And I thought, I've got to do a formal request. So I lit a candle and I was just about to put my bum on the seat and I got come through, ask a different question. So I go, oh, what have I been asking? And I thought, I've been asking, where am I going? And then it just came to me, where am I going based on unconditional love? And as soon as I added that, I immediately got go to Perth. And I go, oh, shit.
I didn't choose that.
And but I also immediately knew why, because of my elderly father. And I've got, I grew up in Perth too. So it's not that it was such a totally unrealistic sort of possibility,
Yeah.
but I've got a strong connection with it. But I also immediately knew why. But I wasn't planning on coming back to Perth at that stage because things were going quite well for me where I was.
Yeah.
And so then I thought, okay. And because I always listen to those inner messages, I knew I had to act. And quite often Thursdays is a kind of a healing, deep day for me. And this was a Thursday evening it came through. I thought, oh, yeah, it's another Thursday. So the next day I rang my brother who lives in Perth and I said, oh, it's time I came home for a visit, is what I said. I knew I had to test it. So I didn't say, I'm moving back to Perth. I just said, I'm thinking I'd like to come back for a visit. And my brother, who's never, ever said anything in his life that he needs help, he said, I would love it if you would come. He said, I've been having some health issues myself. Dad needs more care. I've got more stress at work. Please come as soon as you can. So I go, okay. So then I came back home for a visit. And then I talked to my brother about how I could manage actually making the move to Perth, which is what happened.
Yeah.
So we do have to test these things that come through, and it's got to be right. So clearly this was the right time. And I came back that June, actually, and I started the process of moving. So it was incredible. And I've been back in Perth now for 10 years.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a really great example how
Yeah.
meditation can open up just find for us some new answers and
Yes.
opportunities that we can't see or we don't even think about.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I'm thinking, would you like to try, because we have this beautiful lockdown from today or from last night, and I was thinking, because we are all kind of settled at home, or
Yes.
almost probably all business owners, probably just essentials are people are going to work still, but some of you guys are probably here. And I was thinking that because we are live streaming and we are recording, people will be able to go back. If you want to do a little bit of meditation, a few minutes, then I will definitely play. I will probably cry, but but I will be happy to do that if you feel like is the space for that and is the right time to do it.
Well, I'd be very happy to, providing the people that you've got are happy for that. So maybe we can get a yes or a no, but it will just take a few minutes and I'll just go work through the body to relax the body if that's what people would like.
Yeah. Yeah, Mariana, we have lockdown. Yes. Wow, lockdown. I don't think, yeah, she's in Melbourne. Probably that's why she doesn't know. Yeah, that happened last night. That means, yeah, look, I would love to, yeah, Catherine said, happy to, I believe Mariana, yes, we are getting some yeses. That means, yeah, I'm definitely prepared. I will be doing everything what you said, and we can try to have a little bit of nice.
All right. Okay. Well, please get really comfortable. Close your eyes if you feel like it. And if you want to put your feet up, do that. And just start to take some really deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. And whatever rhythm is going to be right for you, inhaling and exhaling. With every inhalation, drawing in a loving feeling. With every exhalation, releasing any tension, releasing anything that's negative in your life. Just breathe it out. Inhaling love and light and deep relaxation, and breathing out tension, anything that you no longer need in your life. Just let it go. Bring your awareness to your feet. Feel your toes and feet. Feel your toes relaxing. Feel the soles of your feet relaxing. Your heels. Your feet completely relaxing and letting go all unnecessary tension. And relaxing your ankles, just letting go. And bring your awareness to your calf muscles, to your shins. Just feel those lower legs. And feel the bones getting heavier and sinking downwards. And the muscles relaxing. And just letting go. Letting go. My knees are relaxing and letting go all unnecessary tension. And feel your thighs and your buttock muscles. Be aware of the pressure if you're sitting. And just allow the bones of your upper legs to get heavier and to sink downwards. And to the thigh muscles and buttock muscles to just really relax and let go. Releasing all unnecessary tension. And feel the base of your spine. And be aware of your spine stretching upwards. And at the base of your spine, there is the colour red with the base chakra. And just be aware that that red colour is expanding and moving downwards through your legs. And expanding upwards, just whatever's comfortable. And breathe out all unnecessary tension. But feel the energy. And then move up to the Sacral Chakra, which is just behind the pubic bone, and the colour is orange. Allow that colour to expand and feel that beautiful orange energy expanding down through your buttocks and your legs and up through your body. Relaxing your pelvic area. And then moving up to just a little bit above the navel, the solar plexus, and sink your mind down into that area and have a sense of that energy, the yellow expanding. And there's a joy and a pleasure in feeling the yellow expanding and moving down through the abdominal area and upwards towards the chest. And feel your spine expanding, stretching upwards, leaving space for the intervertebral discs. We don't want that spine squeezing up. And then we're going to move up to the heart area, an emerald green. And go deep into the space of your heart and allow the green to expand all the way down through the lower body and upwards. Out through your arms, up to your head, but essentially be aware of your heart energies. And you might make a little affirmation to yourself. I love my heart. It's a strong and generous heart, and so healthy. And then we move up to the throat, which is blue, a sky blue. Extend that neck, don't let it squash downwards. And the blue is about structure, management, and planning. And allow that blue, that nice soft sky blue, to expand, to touch the green of your heart, and the colours together give you turquoise. And when it moves upwards, it has the possibility for opening higher intelligence. And then we move up to the third eye area, which is the centre of the forehead. The colour there is royal blue. And go deeply, deeply in to the centre of your brain. And that's where you could find what can be called the cave of Brahma. But it's for deeper insight, creativity. Go deeper. And then we're going to move up to the crown chakra, which is just a little bit within the fontanelle area, the very top of your head. And that's violet, the colour violet. And it's the contact with the divine, bringing down the divine energy, the divine purpose, and bringing it down into your life so that you can ground it and be in line with your highest aspirations, your highest calling. opening to that higher purpose of you. And bring it down to your heart energies. So bring this beautiful energy down to your heart. And breathe into your heart. And you might affirm to yourself and say, I am in alignment with my highest purpose. All my levels of being are congruent. I am one with all there is. And I fulfill my purpose in this lifetime, my divine purpose. Feel your energy. And be aware of the outline of your aura. And just see that there's a nice strong outline. Have a feel of how big your aura is. And just go around and check it out. And if there's anything that needs repairing, you might want to iron out some dents or polish it up so that your aura, the egg-shaped aura, is in perfect condition. And then come back into your heart and thank your higher self for fulfilling your purpose. Feel your energy. And start to deepen your breathing. And just when you're ready, have a little bit of a wriggle and open your eyes. Have a stretch. And feel good.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. That was beautiful. And I knew that will happen. You probably saw me cry as usual. I don't know why, but it's always happened. I was hoping.
It's really interesting. I'm looking at my watch and I thought, gosh, that was awfully fast. If I'm in a class, I can do 20, 30 minutes, no problem, because I'm watching all the bodies to see how relaxed they are. I watch the eyelids flickering and things, and I moderate it a lot. So it's quite a different experience leading it just through the camera.
I think that was great. I'm really grateful for that, because I was actually having beautiful meditation, and you probably noticed, I don't know if you had a chance to notice, but definitely I had a huge cry when you started to go to heart energy, and it's so weird. Like, it's all really like just always there. Like, I was going with you with colors and everything. When you start talking about love and heart, I just couldn't handle anymore, and I was hoping that I'm not going to have like eyes.
You look beautiful.
But it's funny how that is, like, we are really connected, you know, like stronger with some part of like, or some chakras. And I have definitely, that is something probably to think about, guys, when you had oh, thank you, Mariana said thank you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
We are happy that you are here, ladies. No, I think it's amazing to, probably what you would suggest, like, for example, I believe a few people have different experience, so I'm happy to hear from you guys. I felt strong connection with heart chakra, definitely. Catherine said thank you both of you for, thank you both for interview. No worries. Well, it's our pleasure to be here. And when you feel something stronger, something a little bit less, is that sign of like I should really connect with other chakras, maybe a little bit stronger? Or
so I'm really reluctant to use the word should.
Oh yeah,
right. For me, shoulds is a disease. So this is my journey. So I need to explore this path. And I cover a lot of this stuff in the courses. So may I just tell you about the next course that I'm starting in
Yes, let's do
February?
that. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually doing the next one is the colour therapy and meditation with a focus on the chakras, and I'm starting that on Sunday at 10 a.m. or 7 a.m. But of course, it's to do with both personal healing and planetary healing. We know the planet is going through so much trauma at the moment. And so what I thought I'd do with this particular course, because I've got a whole lot of different titles with courses.
Yeah.
And this is one I thought I'd start with this February. But I also do, when I'm working one-on-one especially, then there's a list of titles and people can choose whichever title they want to, and that will be the focus. But it is always working with the personal chakras for personal, for balancing and for healing. And really, and wherever that person's at, is that we'll take it the next step to go on the journey. So it's a very personal way of working.
Yeah, beautiful. How many people do you have in the group? Is that going to be group healing?
Well, I'm expecting there to be a smallish group starting on Sunday.
Yeah.
I haven't had a huge number. The very first one I ran in May, I had a lot of people suddenly, because it was the first colour therapy thing on the market. And then I realised that I towards the end of it, people said to me, "Oh, we're nearly finished. What are you going to do next?" So then I sat down and I wrote a whole list of titles about things that could go with colour therapy. So when I presented to them, they all wanted something different. So I thought, oh no, I should have just given them one thing so there wasn't any options. But I don't mind that, because some of them then became one-on-ones. And so it seems to have been slower with the uptake this time round, and I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe because it's earth chakras, it's too something. I don't know. But for example, if you have a group or a small group that wants to do colour therapy and meditation, then I can run it for the group with whatever it is they want, whether it's that first basic course or whether it's with one of the other focus titles.
Yeah, no, that definitely. I think that's a great idea, because even when I have a lot of business, I would say in blue energy, a lot of business and structure and systems in my course, I always try to start with mindset and really start with that connection with ourselves, because as you said, we first need to be, and it's a great reminder first to be, and after that do something and have, because it really it is cycle that we need to really think about. Like, I think it's very important. That means I will be really happy to cooperate or collaborate with you, like just to have meditations. I think it's very useful and necessary, and I think people should start to we don't like the word. People can explore even what I'm experiencing, like to actually connect in a few minutes, connect to myself and have that real deep relaxation and a little cry. And you can't imagine, guys, what I had in my head that time. It's really different, and it's really great, because new things coming and new realizations coming from meditation. And it's a beautiful and amazing tool for us to actually have relaxation and actually breathe. Like really give our body and mind a little bit of life. Yeah.
And sometimes, particularly when people haven't done very much or any meditation, it can be too frightening, or they stop too early. It's much easier if you do have somebody to lead you through it, because you don't just dwell on whatever that is at that time, and then you lose the track, and then you think, oh God, I get up and make dinner and whatever. So it's very important to put a time aside to go through the processes. Like I said, it's just like any other muscle. You have to practice.
Yes, exactly.
And train.
And that's the same thing when you want to start to. I have one lady, she started to read the books, and she said she wants to read every week. She wants to have one book done. And I asked her, like, what did you actually do for that? Because that's so important. She was like, I had to actually put 1 hour, and block the time for reading the book, of course. And that's the thing, that the magic is something. Do something for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes, or just 2 minutes, but start with at least I know the basic meditation, like you can start even with 16 seconds. It's just basically like a box breathing, or just
Yeah.
really do a little bit of breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's just like, just start. I,
Mm.
I will probably, I don't want to suggest anything because you probably can, because you're an expert here. But I just love the feeling, and I think it's very important
Yeah.
to experience that.
Yes. Well, I know for myself, I can certainly do my own meditation, but when somebody else that I know does a really good meditation and I follow what they're talking,
Yeah.
I love it when somebody else is
Yeah.
leading it. And you can go very, very deeply and go into a place that you might not get to on your own. So it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Love
Yeah.
it. Thank you very much, Angela. This was really amazing, and I'm so happy we had a little bit of different discussion in this group. And yeah, we had a chance to go a little bit into, like different areas, but we in normal life, like everyday life, we don't really talk about that much, and I think it's very
Yes.
important. And yeah, if you have anything at the end what you would like to add, and also where we can find you, that would be great. And
Okay. Well, I'm doing the certainly the course I'm doing on Sunday. It's on Meetup, or you can get in touch with me directly, or perhaps via you, Alex. And my website for my colour, my healing work, my energy healing work, is phoenixrisingtransformations.com. That doesn't have a lot of the information around the coursework, but it's certainly one way of getting in touch with me. Transformations.com.
and maybe your email, if you said that there's no course, everything about the course on your website, maybe your email address if you want.
My email address is info at, the one that I use a lot is Angela Burchardt Celebrant.com.au.
Cool.
And that's, I've had that for years, so I get a lot through that, and that's certainly with my Celebrant one as well.
Yeah.
And then there's Angela Burchardt1 at gmail.com. But the info at Angela Burchardt Celebrant.com.au is the one that I use the most, and that's the one I like to give out.
Okay, great. We will share in the group that people can actually connect with you. That means below the video, I will share your contact details and the best email address and your website, and that way people can contact you.
Yes, and it's also on Meetup and Eventbrite as well.
Yeah,
great.
great.
For the course anyway. All right.
Yeah, you can send us the link. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, and have a lovely, lovely birthday evening.
Thank you so much.
Again, happy birthday to you, and can't wait to hear from you later. And I can't wait to check my colors for my logo.
Thank you, Alex. Bye, everybody.
Bye.